Welcome, Monster Truck Attitude fans, to a sold-out MTA arena where 32 of our best monster trucks are going to go head-to-head, all competing for the LiveWire Championship. Titans here, Gravedigger, Devastator, Bigfoot, Afterburner, Brodozer, Carolina Crusher. We have got a stacked field and a stellar lineup. These bad boys and girls are going to cut it loose for you guys right here tonight. And we're jumping right into round one action. Kicking things off at LiveWire is Austin Arabia and Stinger Unleashed from the Bad Weather Race Camp. There you see him staged over there in the far lane. However, he is set to take on your current Thursday Night Thunder champion, Rich Wagner in the Wild Hair Chevrolet, representing No Fear Racing. Here's the green light now as we kick off LiveWire down the straight stretch. Wagner's on the rear tires and turns it over, going across the finish line there. Nonetheless, I believe Rich Wagner and Wild Hair did get the win. There you see your photo finish. He barely edged out Stinger and rocked up and rolled over. Well, next up at the LiveWire event, Jerry Womack Jr. in Buckshot out of Culpeper, Virginia, now set to take on Mike Lanford in the Bustin' Loose Chevrolet. Lanford out of Virginia as well in Gordonsville, but the Bustin' Loose Chevrolet is based out of Conroe, Texas. Two Virginia boys about to throw it down. Two Chevrolets about to go head-to-head. Here's the green light now down the straight stretch. They're even, up and over the cars, and Buckshot barely edges out Bustin' Loose there. Coming across the finish line, Lanford's into the wall and on the trailer. Next up, from Sky High Racing, Aaron Church and Bakugan Dragonoid, now set to take on the man who always says he can't get into a race, but looky here, he is in a race in the Black Stallion Ford at a K&J Racing, looking like the World Final 6. Black Stallion of old with the painted tires. Here's the green light. Dragonoid and Black Stallion are down the straight, up and over, and Joey Andrews on the back tires, dragging the tailgate. Nonetheless, Black Stallion gets the win over Dragonoid with a wild performance, riding it on the back tires across the finish line. And next up in round one, we have got Peanut coming back in the red Max D, now set to take on No Fear Racing's very own John Cadiux in Bulldozer, staged over here in the near lane. Peanut would want nothing more than to put Max D on top of a big event like LiveWire right here tonight, but John Cadiux and Bulldozer is going to be a wrench in those plans. There's a green light. Bulldozer's got a lead on Max D. They're over the cars, and Bulldozer gets hung up on the van stack in the center of the track. Peanut capitalizes, putting maximum destruction into round two here at the LiveWire event. Tough break for Bulldozer. And next up in round one, Wildman Ryan Johnson. We haven't seen him in about a month. Back now in Brodozer. He had a hard rollover last month at the Revenge Show. The crew took the whole Thunder season off for the month of February, thrashed on that truck, and got it all back together. But while he was off, Ethan Wagner here in the near lane got a lot of seat time. He's going to show him what's up right now down the straight stretch. Wagner's got a lead on the Brodozer, and Wagner in Cyclops puts Brodozer on the trailer early. A major upset here in round one. Brodozer's going home. Wagner and Cyclops are into round two. And next up, it's old Chad Legit, too legit, back behind the wheel of Tropical Thunder, took over the business for the Bad Weather Race Camp, and now has his own fleet of trucks he is currently maintaining and campaigning out here on the MTA circuit. Far lane, that's the icon, Joshua Wells, in the Gravedigger, the Chevy panel van out of North Carolina, holding door to door with Tropical Thunder, and it's all Gravedigger taking the win over Tropical Thunder here in round one. The icon, Joshua Wells, will see him back with Gravedigger in round two. And folks, speaking of Gravedigger, here comes Matt Cheever in Gravedigger the Legend, who picked up his very first Thursday Night Thunder victory this past February season. He's looking to rock and roll right here at LiveWire. Near lane is Preston Hurd in Sudden Impact, the Ford out of Frackville, Pennsylvania. Who's it going to be in round one action? Both trucks staged. Here's the green light now. Legend in Sudden Impact down the straight. Legend's got a lead on him. Sudden Impact trying to chase him down. And what a close race it was. I'm not sure who picked up the victory. Matt Cheever puts the Legend down there into the wall. Sudden Impact tried to correct himself, going up and over the van stack. Here's the instant replay. Cheever in the far lane. Legend has about half a truck lead. Watch the Sudden Impact Ford get crossed up over the center jump, and right there, Matt Cheever is going to win by about a tire length. we'll see the legend back in round 2 action. Sudden Impact, unfortunately, is on the trailer. And next up, King Sling, driven by David Snyder. He has got the driving duties of that bad boy here tonight. He is set to take on former 3-time Thunder champion out of K&J Racing is Kieran Adams, and Crash Test Dummy staged over there in the far lane. This one ought to be a showdown for the ages. Crash Test Dummy takes on King Sling, who goes to round 2. There's the green light now. They're dead even down the straight stretch. King Sling pulling the trigger, and David Snyder takes the win over Crash Test Dummy. We'll see King Sling back in round 2 action here at LiveWire. Crash Test Dummy is on the trailer. And next up here in round 1, out of Tonganoxie, Kansas, that is the Iron Outlaw Ford driven by Jamie Hurd. He is set to take on another Ford out of St. Louis, Missouri. That is Mitch Brown in Bigfoot. He's representing the Outlaw Motorsports race team. He wants to put that big bad Ford on top. Who's it going to be? There's the green light now down the straight stretch. They're dead even up and over the cars here. And I thought Hurd may have had the win, but Mitch Brown and Bigfoot put the Ford Hemi horsepower down, taking over the rights to the win here tonight at LiveWire. As we take another look, it wasn't by much. Nonetheless, Bigfoot gets the win. And next up here at LiveWire is Jalen Buford representing Outlaw Motorsports race team, back again in the USA 1 Chevrolet. He is now set to take on the owner of K&J Racing. That is James Valancourt in the Liquidator Ford. We haven't seen him out here on the MTA circuit in quite some time. Ford versus Chevrolet at LiveWire. Down the straight stretch they go. Chevy's got a lead on him, but the Ford trying to come back, but he can't get it done. And the USA 1 Chevrolet gets the win, moving on to round 2. Next up here at LiveWire, Carson Wells and the Devastator Chevrolet. We haven't seen him since Revenge a month ago. Back behind the wheel, ready to take home a win here tonight. However, last month's champion at Revenge, Chris Baluk in the BKT machine, he's looking to go 2 for 2 at these big 32 truck shows. Here's the green light, Devastator and BKT off to a good start, up and over no man's land. Devastator's into the wall, making easy work for Chris Baluk and BKT out of Michigander Motorsports. We'll see him back in round 2 action. Now up next here in round 1, we have got Ethan Medlin and Max D. Ice set to take on the Cowboy from Hell. That's Timothy Cantwell and the Bounty Hunter out of Outlaw Motorsports. And folks, I gotta be honest with you right here. This one's gonna be a good old-fashioned grudge match. It's sort of a love-hate relationship between the two. Bounty Hunter, Max D. Ice, staged. Here's the green light now. Max D may have a lead on Bounty Hunter. Crosses up, rolls over, and Timothy Cantwell and Bounty Hunter get the win. The pressure may have been just too much for Medlin there, and Max D rocked up and rolled over there in no man's land. What a wild performance there. He gave the fans a show nonetheless, but Bounty Hunter gets the win. Now you see MTA track crew and officials rolling Max D Ice back over. Looks like he snapped off the right front tire. Got a lot of work to do to get that truck back for the next MTA event. Now up next, in round 1 action here at LiveWire, we have got none other than 6-time Thunder champion Jeffrey Skipper, U.S. Air Force Afterburner, now set to take on newest member to No Fear Racing, that is Corey Marvin in the Northern Nightmare Machine stage over there in the far lane. This one's a battle of teams here in round 1. No Fear takes on Johnson Motorsports. There's the green light now. Jeffrey Skipper had a hard start up and over the cars here, and what a race it was. Corey Marvin hanging right there with Jeffrey Skipper in the U.S. Air Force Afterburner. We got to take a better look at the photo finish. Your winner by about half a truck, Jeffrey Skipper, the Iceman, in the Afterburner. Next up here in round 1, we have got Justin Lamb in his brand new ride, the Midnight Rider out of Outlaw Motorsports. He is rocking and rolling with that brand new truck, and this will be the very first pass he makes on the MTA circuit with it. Over here in the near lane, that's David Beeks in the Predator machine, set and ready to go. Stage, there's the green light. Hard off the line for Predator. He's got a slight lead on the new Midnight Rider, but Justin Lamb coming back, spins it out in the end. David Beeks up on the Jersey wall in the near lane. Nonetheless, Outlaw Motorsports' brand new truck, the Midnight Rider, we'll see back in round 2 action. Now, next up here in round 1, newcomer to the scene, that's Jesse Martin in the brand new Blue Thunder Ford staged in the near lane. He is now set to take on the Chevrolet out of Wadesboro, North Carolina in Carolina Crusher. There you see Wyatt Anderson in the far lane. Who's it going to be? Ford versus Chevrolet. Here's the green light now. They're both hard off the line. Up and over no man's land. Crusher turns it over. And Martin in the Blue Thunder Ford get the win in round 1 action, knocking off the Chevrolet So we'll see Blue Thunder back in round 2, and now as we close out round 1 action, it's going to be a battle of the bow tie. The Taurus Chevrolet out of Granite City, Illinois. That's Logan Waller taking over the driving duties in the far lane. He is now set to take on the man who almost won the overall points championship for the February season of Thunder, Zach Jurgen Titan. Who's it going to be? Here's the green light, battle of the bow tie to close out round 1, up and over the cars, and it's going to be Logan Waller out of Granite City, Illinois in the Taurus Chevrolet. Zach Jurge didn't have enough in the tank here in round 1 action. We'll see Taurus back in the next round, and we're jumping right over to round 2 action here at LiveWire and kicking things right off. It's going to be Rich Wagner in the Wild Hair Chevrolet, now set to take on another Chevy, this one out of Culpeper, Virginia. That's Jerry Walmack in the Buckshot Machine, and he has been top-notch and bad fast, but Rich Wagner, the current Thunder champion, it's anybody's ball game. 2 Chevys going to throw it down. Here's their green light, now they're hard off the line, up and over no man's land here, and Buckshot gets the win by just a little bit. Wagner was hanging right there with him. Buckshot had his hands full nonetheless, but was able to pull it out in the end. We'll see Buckshot back. There you see the replay now as they come across the line. It wasn't by much, but Buckshot gets the win. And next up here in round 2 is Joey Andrews back behind the wheel of the Black Stallion Ford out of Hagerstown, Maryland, representing the K&J race team. Over in the far lane, that's Peanut and Max D, the red version, making another round on the MTA circuit. Who's it going to be? Max D takes on Black Stallion. Here's the green light. Both trucks look good in round 1. Up and over no man's land here. Max D bobbles up and rolls it over. Joey Andrews and Black Stallion gets the win and keeps it off the tailgate this time around. But what happened to Max D? We take another look here at the MTA replay. Andrews in the near lane had a slight lead on him. It may be hard to see right here. Yeah, Black Stallion kind of got in the way. A bobble there for Peanut. Rolled over the Max D machine, and now the MTA track crew and officials are down there. He is okay and out of the truck. The fans are going crazy. He'll definitely be selling some merchandise here later tonight when the pit party comes around. And there you see some of the damage done to Max D. Ripped off the front clip. Hard to tell what happened. He just got bobbled up there in no man's land. Nonetheless, Max D is on the trailer here tonight. Black Stallion will move on into round 3 competition. Now up next, we've got the Icon back at the wheel. Gravedigger comes to the line. That's Joshua Wells, staged over there in the near lane. He is now set to take on, this kid is making a big name for himself. That's Ethan Wagner in the Cyclops Chevrolet. Knocked out Brodozer here earlier in round 1. A big accomplishment. Can he knock off the Digger? Here we go now. There's the green light. Gravedigger's got a lead on him, but Cyclops coming back, and that was a close race. I don't know who got the win. I do not know who got the win up here in the booth. Both of them letting it all hang out there when they came across the finish line. We have to go back now and take another look. Cyclops had a hard time shutting it down. There you see him off the line, and I may have been wrong. The slight lead may have went to Cyclops. The Gravedigger was trying to play catch-up. Watch the air there by Cyclops in the far lane. Here's a zoomed-in picture of the finish line, and MTA officials have called Gravedigger the winner. The bigger air by Cyclops costed him that race. And next up, Gravedigger the legend back at the line. It's your boy Shaggy, Matt Cheever, staged over here in the far lane. But he is set to take on David Snyder and King Sling, who looked wicked fast in round 1 action. He may have that truck set on kill right here tonight. Both trucks staged. There's their green light now. King Sling's got a lead on him. Up and over the cars here. Oh my word, what a race. David Snyder and King Sling riding out the length of the Jersey wall, going across the finish line. But who is the winner? Here's the photo finish. It's gonna be Matt Cheever and Gravedigger the legend. What an incredible race. Some close finishes right here in round 2. You can tell they all want this win bad. But next up, a classic matchup that has gone on from the 80s and currently still exists to this day. Bigfoot takes on USA 1. But both these drivers represent Outlaw Motorsports. Who's it gonna be? Mitch Brown and Bigfoot. Jalen Buford, USA 1. Down the straight stretch now. Bigfoot's got a lead. USA 1 trying to come back on him and couldn't come up with it. Mitch Brown and Bigfoot knocks off the USA 1 Chevrolet and his own teammate here in round 2 action. Nonetheless, Jalen Buford put up a heck of a fight. Watch right here at the photo finish. You see it wasn't by much, but Bigfoot getting the job done here at LiveWire. And next up, last month's champion Chris Baluk and BKT from Michigander Motorsports, now set to take on the man who won this event 2 months ago at Holiday Havoc, knocking out the rest of the competition. These guys know how to get the job done at these big events. Bounty Hunter takes on BKT. Here's the green light. Off the line, hard, they're dead even down the straight stretch, up and over no man's land. BKT gets way out of shape, and the Cowboy from Hell, Timothy Cantwell and Bounty Hunter knock out Chris Baluk and BKT in round 2 action. Up next in round 2, we have got Jeffrey Skipper returning to the line from Johnson Motorsports Race Team. The 6-time Thursday Night Thunder champion is ready to go. However, over in the far lane is arch rival from Outlaw Motorsports, Justin Lamb, in the brand new Midnight Rider. Which team will prevail down the straight stretch? Now they're pretty even, up and over no man's land, and Skipper bobbles up on that last set of cars, and Justin Lamb from Outlaw Motorsports in the brand new Midnight Rider get a huge win here in round 2 action. The Iceman is on the trailer. Next up in round 2 action, Jesse Martin in the Blue Thunder Ford made its debut right here tonight earlier in round 1 and looked wicked strong. Over here in the far lane, however, that is the Taurus Chevrolet out of Granite City, Illinois. Knocked off Titan there in the last matchup in round 1. Can he do the same to Blue Thunder? There's a green light. Ford and Chevrolet head to head, up and over the cars. And Taurus looks like he just edged out the Blue Thunder Ford to close out round 2 action. We're going to go back and take a look at the photo finish here. Your winner is Logan Waller and Taurus, knocking out Blue Thunder to close out round 2 action. And folks, we hope you have enjoyed the show so far. Round 3 racing is coming up next, and the racing is getting more close each and every round. But first up in round 3, it's going to be Joey Andrews in the Blackstein Ford out of Hagerstown, Maryland, now set to take on Jerry Womack Jr. in the Buckshot Chevrolet out of Culpeper, Virginia. Who's it going to be? Ford versus Chevrolet. Round 3 action starts and kicks off right now. There's the green light, hard off the line for Buckshot, keeping a lead on Black Stallion, and what a ride for Andrews, and Black Stallion on the tailgate for the 2nd time tonight. Keeps it down on all 4s. However, Buckshot is your winner. That was spectacular, but next up, it's going to be a battle of the Grave Diggers. It's your boy Shaggy, Matt Cheever, and Grave Digger the Legend stage in the far lane in the Ford panel van. Near lane, the Icon, Joshua Wells, and Grave Digger in the Chevy panel van. Who's it going to be? Stage, here's the green light. Down the straight stretch now, they're dead even. Up and over no man's land on a ride, and Wells turns it over. Grave Digger's upside down. What a spectacular crash for Joshua Wells and the Grave Digger. Matt Cheever didn't get across the line and put it in the wall. As we go back and take a look at the replay, both drivers are pretty much even down that straight stretch. Watch right here on the first jump to near lane. Wells pogos it on the rear end, tried to save it, clipped the van stack, end over end rollover right there, and Cheever puts it in the wall for the 2nd time tonight. And now the MTA track crew and officials are down there getting ready to roll the Grave Digger back over. There you see some damage done to the Chevy panel van. He won the race, but is he going to be able to come back for semifinal competition? We're going to check with him later on down in the pits. Now as we get set to move on with round 3 action here at LiveWire, it's going to be another battle of teammates. Mitch Brown and Bigfoot knocked off USA 1, his own teammate, in that last round. He's going to try to do it again, taking on Tim Cantwell and Bounty Hunter staged over there in the far lane. Again, both trucks representing Outlaw Motorsports. Who takes home the win in round 3? There's a green light. Bounty Hunter got Bigfoot off the line. Up and over the cars here. And Timothy Cantwell and Bounty Hunter knock off Bigfoot here in round 3. Mitch Brown is going home on the trailer. His teammate, however, moves on to semis. And now as we close out round 3 action, Logan Wallard out of Granite City, Illinois in the Taurus Chevrolet has been looking strong and consistent all night long. He is set to take on Outlaw Motorsports' very own Justin Lamb in the brand new Midnight Rider, which has been running strong all night. Stage now, here's the green light, hard off the line. Taurus got a slight lead on Midnight Rider, gets out of shape, and Justin Lamb tries to shut it down, bumps into Max D there in the shutdown area. Taurus gets into the wall, giving Midnight Rider the big round 3 win. And ladies and gentlemen, we talked about it just a few minutes ago. We're in the pits with No Fear Racing. Joshua Wells down there thrashing on the truck with the rest of his team. They tore up the body quite a bit. The front clip got a little damage in the side panel. They're making sure the truck is at 100% to come back. They should be able to make the call because they're coming up next as semifinals kicks off and the panel van has fired up. Gravedigger's coming back, and it's going to be Jerry Womack Jr. and Buckshot out of Culpeper, Virginia, now set to take on the Gravedigger out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. The Icon, Joshua Wells, hard rollover in that last round, and you have to wonder, is the Gravedigger ready to go and at 100% because Buckshot is dialed in? Who moves on? Chevrolet's about to go down. There's the green light now. Buckshot got a slight lead on the Digger. Gravedigger coming back. Buckshot spins out, and Wells gets into Max D in the shutdown area. Buckshot knew he had his hands full. Gravedigger pulled off the miracle, got the win. We'll see him back in the finals. But who is Gravedigger going to race in the finals at LiveWire? Justin Lamb in the brand new Midnight Rider has been running strong all night long here tonight. He is set to take on yet another teammate. That's Tim Cantwell in the Bounty Hunter Ford. Both trucks representing Outlaw Motorsports. Who's going to the finals? There's their green light. They're dead even off the line. Up and over no man's land. Bounty Hunter's in trouble. Turns it over and rolls the truck over in the shutdown area. Timothy Cantwell is upside down. I'm not too sure who got the win. As we look at the photo finish, it's going to be Justin Lamb and Midnight Rider on two wheels even, taking home the win. And folks, I want to remind you that March 26th, the biggest extravaganza that MTA puts on all year long, Monster Mania 3, March 26th, 2022. You don't want to miss 32 of MTA's best monster trucks compete for the championship. And now it's final time here at LiveWire. The icon Joshua Wells and Gravedigger takes on Justin Lamb and his brand new Midnight Rider. Now both drivers are representing their respective teams. Wells with No Fear Racing, Lamb with Outlaw Motorsports. There can only be one winner right here tonight. Who's it gonna be? Midnight Rider versus Gravedigger. It's showtime at LiveWire down the straight. Midnight Rider's got a lead. Gravedigger's coming back on him. And what an incredible race here to close out the LiveWire event. I'm not too sure. It looked like the Gravedigger may have edged out Midnight Rider at the very end. We're going back down to take another look. Here you see him off the line. Watch the far lane. Justin Lamb putting the hammer down. Has about a half a truck length lead on the Gravedigger. Watch Joshua Wells put down the Chevy horsepower. And right there, scoops up the win. Midnight Rider gets crossed up. And ladies and gentlemen, getting his first 32 truck race championship, the icon Joshua Wells in the Gravedigger. And a big congratulations to No Fear Racing for the team coming together, making sure the Gravedigger could still go right here tonight. And that is going to wrap up the LiveWire event. I hope you all had a great time out here with us racing 32 of MTA's best diecast monster trucks. Be sure, if you haven't already, crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys down the road. See you next time.